Hi folks, sorry, just messaging somebody, Christine, about how to refresh the page, um, but I don't type very fast, so someone got there before me. Good morning, hey, how you doing? I hope you're all well. Technology just makes me laugh. I've just got to laugh. There's me using my two fingers to type. Oh, jeez. How are you? Welcome, day 10, third of the way through already. Wow, and well done. Absolutely well done. Um, you should just take a moment, just take a couple of moments and just acknowledge that you are a third of the way through. How does that feel? I hope it feels good, because you should feel good. You should feel proud that undertaking something that is new and you're introducing it into an already busy life, or when it does come to something that requires effort, sometimes it's easier not to do it. And so absolutely brilliant for getting this far. And every day is a day to celebrate. Every brand new 24 hours is a reason to celebrate, not just because you've done another day of Qigong, but because it's another day to enjoy and to get the most out of. So I'm just saying goodbye to hello to everybody rather than individually. I know you're all sort of checking in now and saying good morning. That's absolutely brilliant. And the going down the rabbit hole yesterday, challenging, that really challenged you, I'm gathering from what I've been reading in Slack and the comments, the I. And because we so often think of I, but I think what I'm trying to get across is that when we do our Qigong, sometimes we get so caught up in, am I doing this right? I'm thinking about this, or when it starts to sort of always come in, then we lose the spirit of what we're trying to do and release that inner perfection that many of us have in us, and just to let that go and become connected with your surroundings. Qigong is essentially connecting with all that's natural, and that includes ourselves. We are not machines. We are not machines. And when we realize that it's not just us alone, that helps us to remove the isolation that so many of us are feeling at the moment. We know that we're in this together, and the proof of many of you saying good morning to each other is just there. We might not be able to see each other, but we are there. And just being able to enjoy that, even if it's just through your Qigong practice, just to know that there are others there now. As you sit there or stand there, wherever you are, there are others doing exactly the same thing as you, listening to me, and you're all in this together. We're all in this together. Sometimes I may say things that go straight over your head, quite often possibly. For some of you, you might grasp at what I say. But when we hear these things, they're like little seeds being planted. And someday, one day, that seed might just sort of pop its head out. And it might be in years to come. And then you'll start to water that seed, and it will be embedded somewhere in you. But these are just little life skills and tools that I'm sharing, I'm planting, that one day hopefully will flower. It's a bit like, I don't know about you, but having many books. I love reading, but I try and balance the fact of not over reading and not trying to get in here too much. So I read all different types of books. And sometimes you buy a book, but you don't read it immediately. In fact, if you're anything like me, I've got a stack of books that I bought, and I thought, because I don't want to forget that I found this book. But I don't read it for a couple of years sometimes. It just stays there. And then when the time is right, whenever that be, and I'll pick it up and I'll read it, and I'll think, that's why I bought this book. And it's just the same as planting those seeds. When the time's right, they will flower. So today's class is going to be a little bit more in practice, rather than offering you more new stuff to think about. These past 9 previous days, it's been quite intensive in the sense of planting many seeds to be watered and nurtured. And we're going to let those just gently settle for the moment. And we'll get on to a subject that's integral again to Qigong, to life, and very soon, and it's a subject close to my heart, as all of this is, and it's called Ting. But we're going to do that in the next day or two. So there you go, that's a seed planted, Ting. So before we get on and do our movement today, some of you may have noticed, some of you may have already watched the video that I've put up in the catch-up section. So in your own time after this class, please go to the catch-up section within the 30-day Qigong Challenge section, so your own catch-up section. And right at the top of the catch-up section, there'll be a video that I put on there that I made called 10 Bulls. And I invite you to watch that video. I think it's no longer than 10 minutes long, 7-8 minutes, I think. And it's a really important video I've put up that helps you to understand your journey of self-cultivation through Qigong, using a story that was told in the 12th century. And it's a story that's been passed down generation after generation when we do come into this practice, when we are learning a new practice, Qigong specifically, but not just for the sake of learning a new skill, but for wanting for it to become part of us, our lives, and for the benefit it can do us. And that the journey that we take, because I know the first week or two when we do something new, we're enthused, we want to do this, yes, which is another reason why I started this late on in January and not in the New Year's, right on in the new year, because I don't want this to be a New Year's resolution, because they tend to get broken, we don't stick with them. I want this to be with you for life. And the 10 Bulls will hopefully teach you how to understand how the ups and downs of your journey go. And we all have them. We all have these exciting times, and we all have these times of, I'm just too busy, or I'm too tired, or whatever it may be. So please, in your own time, take 10 minutes out with a cuppa and watch the 10 Bulls video. So without further ado, let's, Lynn, no, not balls, bulls, B-U-L-L-S, not balls as in kicking a ball about. Made me smile, that did, Lynn, thank you. Okay, let's, if you're standing, let's get ourselves ready. So I've unplugged my speaker today. I'll try and remember to do that every day. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes I'm sitting there and meditating, and all of a sudden this thing will start off, and I keep meaning to unplug it, and I forget, so I've done it today. So we're just going to just revisit what we've learnt, practice what we've learnt, and move on to the new movement of Swimming Dragon. So whether you're seated or standing, ease yourself into Wu Chi, this posture, this state of being. Don't presume that you're automatically in it. Empty your cup. Start from the beginning. Parallel feet, ideally. Joints off lock. Palms turned, facing behind you, yawning armpits. Let them yawn a couple of times before you settle them. Good. Connect your three treasures to the heavens with your helium balloon. Down through your spine. Ground yourself into the earth. Send your roots down, deep down. Imagine standing in the sand, feet buried in the earth, right up to your knees. Use your thighs like buoys, and just in case, that's buoys with a U, as in floating buoys, not little males. Try and release any tension that you feel in your buttocks or lower back. Just let that go. Let your back go whilst keeping your helium balloon lifting. So use the space in and around your body. The small spaces between your fingers, space between your arms and your torso, the space between your legs, space between your toes. Notice all these areas. Fill the areas with air, thick air. Just like you're standing in the sea. Let your bones float in your ocean body. Check in with your shoulders, make sure they're soft. we just notice the clouds that pass through the mind, the thoughts. Come back to our breathing. And the act of our breathing creates a breeze that moves the thoughts along. Good, and just notice the habit energies that are strong sometimes, that are telling you, come on, I've got to move. Getting itchy feet here. Just notice them. Remember, they're just energies. They're not you. Come back to your breathing, to the way that you're standing. Make sure no tension's been created anywhere. Just keep on installing those layers. Standing, three treasures, breathing, floating bones, all of them. Good. Very well done. Okay, so from here we're going to gently ease into our shake. So if you're sitting down, remember, shake limb by limb. Standing, use your belly, your thighs, just to shake. Audible breath. Let's shake out that stagnant air so we can replace it with good, fresh air. Play with this. Tilt side to side and forward. Let the shake resonate through your face. Enjoy it. Smile. Laugh. Breathe. Celebrate the 10th day of your Qigong. Shimmy the shoulders, shake your tail. Good, lovely shaking, everybody. Last minute of shaking, so get into all your nooks and crannies. If you want to consciously now shake out through your arms, as if you've got sticky stuff on your fingers and you're flicking it off. If your balance permits, and only if it permits, shake out through a leg as well. Otherwise, stop your arms and just do one leg at a time. Please don't do both arms and both legs at a time if you're standing. Ah, there's Cara Bell. She can hear a friend calling from the other side of the garden. Excuse me a moment. Thank you, Cara. Thank you. Good girl. Thank you. Excellent. Good, good. Okay. Tune into those sensations. Your heart beating, your breath, your tingles. Good. And now let's gently move our feet into the slosh. I'll do this with Cara. So transferring 70% of your weight left to right. Moving your inner ocean. Yi Dao, Qi Dao. Where your mind goes, your energy follows. Good, well done. And gently, we're going to move our feet with the slosh back into a hip width stance to go into our first swing. Small baby steps as we slosh, using your lower dantian to swing. Remember, your knees really help you to guide whether you're overswinging or not, so keep your knees pointing forward in line with your toes. And be aware of the gentle spiraling, turning, the gentle twisting of the body. Where can you feel it? Where can't you feel it? Nice and easy. You can see I'm just going, this is my pace. I'm not doing this slowly for your benefit. I'm doing this because it's my pace. please just go nice and easy, nice and gently. Good. Lovely swinging. Well done. Very slowly, let the swing naturally come to a standstill. So we just find ourselves back into where we started in Wu Chi. As soon as we do, layer everything that you've learnt already, your Wu Chi stance, joints of lock, three treasures, all those seeds. Remember, we're standing in the ocean. Let your hands just float up. Palms turn, face each other. Discover, feel your chi. Remember, the harder you try to make a connection, the harder it is to connect. So don't be too willful. A subtle, easy, gentle focus. Don't try too hard. Good. And now let's do movement one, compressing the pearl with your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Moving your arms like puppets through the thick air. Yawning armpits. Everything moves in rhythm with your breathing. Good. Movement two, flying hand. Bend your elbows to give space for your hands to rise. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Your hands, palms, face your body ideally. They come up to the shoulder nests. Turn from your wrists, fly away. Breathe in and out. Get into movement 3 as the hands turn, fingers point down in between your feet. Peacock fans its tail. Tailor make the movement to what suits you, so long as you are comfortable, or as comfortable as you can be. But for all of us, make sure your arms, hands aren't above your shoulder height. Wonderful. So next time your hands open out, hang like a T, turn your palms face down. Into movement 4, uphold the moon. Nice and slowly, bend knees, tuck under, crane neck, soften your torso, shallow bowl, scoop in front. With your thighs, just gently lift. Don't lock the body. And as if you're parting clouds, hands come down, sink, tuck under, crane neck, soften. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. And in. And out. Good. Just gently allow your arms to float and rest either side of your body, standing back into Wu Chi. Tune in to any sensations you're breathing. Good. Well done, well done. Okay, have a little shake out. If you would like to take a couple of minutes to rest your legs, please do sit down for a moment. So I hope you enjoyed that. That gives you a real good flavour of the few warm-ups that we've done so far, and how we always return back to where we started in Wu Chi, and the transition of each of the movements, how one flows into the other. So we create this unbroken flow that's slow, and each movement blends into the other. And being able to change in that way helps us in life too. And when we learn how to just accept change, it is going to happen, it's inevitable. But when we practice our Qigong and we go from one movement, and we might be really enjoying that movement, but we do go on to the next because we need varied movement. Because remember, varied movement is like life. It's varied. It doesn't come at you at one angle. It comes at you from all different directions, and when you least expect it sometimes. So being able to do Qigong in that way as well helps you to deal with these things too. So Swimming Dragon. Let me show you what Swimming Dragon looks like. And then we're going to do this together. So I'm going to start off with the previous movement, the Uphold the Moon. So please just watch at this stage. So you'll recognize this now. And now I'll transition into Swimming Dragon. That's Swimming Dragon. It's always one that gets the most comments through students, in that the enjoyment of doing it, what it actually feels like inside. And that's because it really does activate the liver, and the liver helps us to move qi around the body, and it's that sense of, and not only the physical aspect, because it's a really good, nice movement that opens up the body. So for some of you who don't have the range of movement in your shoulders, and you're thinking, wow, I'm never going to be able to do that, of course we can, we just adapt. So for yourselves, find out which range of movements you can do comfortably. So if it isn't this, maybe it's this. Maybe you can do this and do this comfortably. Perfect. Please do that. Maybe just this is too difficult. So if this is too difficult, then try go to the sides. Come back and go to the sides. Maybe you might find that more helpful. If you can do the front, all the better, but adapt it to what suits you. It's not a case of I can't do that because my shoulders won't allow me, even if it's this. Perfect. That is some movement, and some movement is better than no movement. So together, if you'd like to stand, if you're not already, make sure your feet are and your body's in Wu Chi. Good. So we're going to start off by doing one of the previous movements, Uphold the Moon. So remember, your hands float up out either side. Let's do this together. So scoop down. Nice and slowly. Do this super slow. And up. Good. Now, one important aspect of this movement is how we flow from this one to the next one. So as the hands come down now, I'd like you to sink down a little bit more. Now, yesterday it was a really good answer, and I think it was Lynn who asked the question, when we do our close, do we tuck under, do the C shape, or do we just do the squat? We do the squat now. So it's not the C shape. So when we know we're going to go into movement 5, rather than doing the C shape, we go into the squat. So we're folding into the kwa, And this is a must. We must go down and the hands come out in front of us. Now, it's whichever hand you prefer at this stage. It's not a problem at all, and it depends on which angle that you've got, how it's mirrored from your camera, mine to yours. But my right palm is up, left is down. And they are a mid-chest height, okay? And my legs are still sunk. So then when my hands are going to move, my palms will move in the direction that they're facing. So my right hand's going to go up and my left hand's down. And as that does, I then lift myself out of that squat, but don't lock. Okay, good. Let your hands continue to go up and down at the same pace. Good. Now, when they reach up and down, turn them both at the same time. So now your left hand palm is pointing upwards, your right palm is pointing downwards, and they travel up and down again. Turn your palms. Turn your palms. Turn your palms. So your hands are traveling for part of their journey in front of the left and right hand sides of your body. Then they will veer off a little. That's fine. But at some point in their journey going up and down, guide them so that they are in front of the left and right hand sides of your body. Good. Come back to the center where we started. So when this happens, relax your arms please for a moment. When your hands cross and pass each other, they should always pass here, center of height. So not here, not here. They always cross and pass each other at the same place. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking for next. That they always pass at the same place, mid-chest height. So relax your arms, kick out through your legs. Good. Hands float out. Previous movement, uphold the moon. Good. Let's do one uphold the moon movement. C shape with the spine. Lift up. Good. Hands turn, come down. Now we're going to transition into movement 5. So now the micro squat, that little squat. One palm turns up, the other one turns down. Height of mid-chest. Separate your hands, body rises. Brilliant, well done. Turn your palms. They cross over mid-chest height. Good. So they pass each other. The same place all the time. Excellent. And come back to the center. You should finish off mid-chest, height, turn your palms, down they come. So that is your swimming dragon. We're going to go into a little bit more energetic detail with these movements in the latter part of the 30 days. But at the moment, as I mentioned to you from day one, it's just about learning the choreography, the movements. An important part of all of our Qigong, especially in this movement, is the pulsing of the body, where the body acts like a biological pump. And this biological pump comes from, you've already done it. When the body comes down and you create the squat, the hands come up and the body rises using your thighs. Now, as the hands turn and they come back into the center, the body does the squat again. As the hands pass each other, the body rises. Now, I'm doing quite a big squat to show you. Okay, the squat doesn't have to be that big, but ideally what we're looking for is a continuous rising and sinking of the body without stopping, and it's all timed with the movement. Okay, what this does, it uses your thigh muscles to act like engines to push and pull your inner ocean up and down your body. So yes, your arms are helping to do that, but by creating this pulsing movement, big muscles, not only is it going to create strength and stamina, not only in your thighs, but your knees and your calves. So you're going to get stronger in your legs and therefore more grounded and stable in your entire body. But this action, albeit small, creates this pulling and pushing of your inner ocean to all parts of your body to encourage that flow, and that's really, really key for our health. So tomorrow we're going to get on to putting all of that together with the pulsing, but again, just planting that seed of what we're going to be doing. When we do come to do this tomorrow, I appreciate that some of you may not be able to do too much of it. Just take a break, listen to yourself, do a little bit, take a pause, do a little bit more, and gradually increase what you can do. Brilliant. So let's just close out the physical aspect of this class before we go on to the live chat. So narrow stance. And let's close. Nice long extended inhale. Exhale. Sink your mind into your lower dantian. And close. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Let's pop over to the live chat. Type in any questions you may have for me, and I'll try to do my best to answer them. Okay, so Audrey, I like that. You only make one New Year's resolution, that you always keep it, and that's never to make a New Year's resolution. You're on my wavelength there. Elizabeth, where can you find the 10 bulls on the website? Where you found the live classes, in that section there, you'll also see a section. Within that section, you'll see it's a little box, and it's with 30-day challenge. Underneath that, it's written catch up. There's another one with extras, and then another one with warm-ups. If you click on the catch up box, that will open up all the classes that we've done already. Within there, you will see the 10 bulls video. So the 10 bulls video is in the catch up section of the 30-day Qigong challenge. Please go in and have a look now. You might want to open up another tab just to see whether you can find it, and then you can ask me if you still can't. So type away if you do have any questions, anyone. I appreciate that when I do the live recording, sometimes it's a minute or two out of sync. So there's me watching myself now talking about what I've just said, and that's really, really strange. So I'm not looking at that. Sid, you like Audrey's philosophy? Yep, so do I. I've known Audrey for a little while now, and we both work on the same wavelength. And you're asking where what's this called? This is actually my it's what I practice my form in. I've actually there's trousers that go with this as well, but they're so long and floaty that when I try and teach them, sometimes you can't see my movement so well. So I don't tend to wear those to teach in. This is just a meditation robe, and I got it from. I actually got it from China. So, but you might want to just do a search for meditation robes. I've got to say, there is so much space in here that the freedom of movement and that unrestriction is just lovely. Really is comfortable. Okay, a couple of questions coming up. Let me just go back. Patricia, you tried sitting for your Wu Chi today. It's hard to stand still for you. I get that, and you do the right thing. You're doing the right thing by just changing up a little bit of sitting, a little bit of standing. But if I can invite you to stand just for, even if it's for 60 seconds, a couple of minutes, just be patient with yourselves when doing this, especially if you're coming to Qigong with sort of health conditions that prevent you from standing up for long periods. But don't try and avoid it completely. But there again, don't take yourself beyond 70%. So do a little bit, then sit down, do a little bit, sit down. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and somebody, pardon me for not remembering, but mentioned that they felt that they were rocking very, very slightly. You can do that, which helps to encourage your inner ocean just to move around just that little bit. And in time, you will find that hopefully your stamina will build in your legs, and you'll be able to stand over time a little bit longer. Jackie, yesterday's class should be in catch up. I will go and double check. I do double check when I put it in there. Please make sure that you're looking at the catch up section within the 30-day Qigong challenge section, not the main catch up section which you'll find in the website. That's for my daily live classes. I've created your own space on the website. When I mean your own space, all of you that are doing this 30-day challenge, so it's within there. I will go and double check when I upload this video, but it's within there. If you can't find it, please email me and I will direct you to it and send you a link to it. Alison, struggling with hip pain, which movements will help you? Bang on what I'm actually just said to you at the end of this class. The movement of the pulsing that I'm going to be introducing to you tomorrow, that we've touched on today, that body pulsing, that act of bending correctly and folding into the kwa, which I'm going to, again, like I said, go through tomorrow in more detail. This won't only strengthen your legs, but also your hips. So this is going to help when we get on to the next movement, movement 6, which is called diagonal flying. That also is going to get into your hips as well. So hopefully that will help you. So yeah, Louise, you're having a good sense of mindfulness at the moment, which is great. I tend to call Qigong for those who want to avoid using it or trying to explain it to people, mindfulness-based therapeutic exercise, because that's what it is. So I'm glad you're getting the mindfulness aspect out of it. You've got a little bit of pain or some nasty pain in your right shoulder. That could be a multitude of things. Just when we experience pain, so remember your 70% rule. If you're experiencing pain, then bring that down to 20% if you need to. So for instance, tomorrow, if you're still experiencing some pain in there, then you're not letting yourself down by doing smaller movements until you allow that pain, that discomfort to ease. But it doesn't mean you necessarily completely stop. It just means you reduce it right down to where you are comfortable. Okay, you got it, Elizabeth. Fantastic, well done. So Alison, Alison, you're answering Louise's question. So if you haven't seen it in the chat, Alison, Louise has been doing Qigong for a few months now, and her shoulders are feeling a lot better. So hopefully that encourages you. So where am I based? In Norwich, Elizabeth is asking. You like the backdrop? I'm curious, as you also live in the city. I'm at home, and so the backdrop that you see here is one that I've created in order to be able to do my live classes, to teach from home, because I used to have a city studio, which I no longer have because of COVID. So I had to give that up. So I've created my own home studio. So I have got plants galore. Fill your house with plants. I've got lights. This is a big blackout blind. Behind here is my kitchen. The kids have taken to using this as a cinema screen when I'm not using it. So sometimes on a Saturday night, I'll put the projector up and we've got a big cinema screen here as well, which is a little bit close, and you've got bigger wide eyes after you've watched it. Through my window, so I live just outside the city, south of the city, in the country, in Seething, just so you know. And when we do get back to face-to-face teaching, just to let you know, it is going to happen one day, of course it is. I'm going to be using outdoors as my classroom. We're going to be doing Qigong and mindfulness outside. I'm going to be finding areas of the beautiful Norfolk countryside that are safe areas that we're going to be able to go and practice in. Not just Qigong, but I'm going to also teach you how to use nature as your teacher, and how we can really just notice the beauty of what we have already and how that can help us. So that's part and parcel of my future plans as well. Yeah, and you met Cara today. I think she's been in a couple of times. Yeah, she's my best mate. She's just a stunning dog. And sometimes I do Qigong and she'll just sit at my feet. And when I was first teaching online these classes, I just couldn't move. So I was stuck here, and I was trying to do a movement with my legs, and she was just plonked herself on there. So now I think she's realised. So she's over there now. One eye open, because she can hear me talk about her name. So, thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow, day 11, fabulous, and we will further explore the pulsing, and I'm going to be introducing the next warm-up, swing 2, for you as well. But in the meantime, look after yourselves, look after each other, keep safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.